Hi everyone! We are finally here at the War of the Spark. It just came out today and I am super excited. I was excited all day at work. I couldn't wait to come home and then get my daughter to bed and all that stuff and do my chores, blah 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 blah. And finally get here and sit down and crack all my damn packs and play some sealed. So let's do it. Okay, so we're gonna crack packs first because I hear that some people really like to do that. And if you're that kind of person, then this video is super for you. Okay, so now available in the store. Yeah. We already bought. We pre-ordered. Oh boy. See, we got 50. Oh my god. Bam. Liliana Dreadhorde General.
If I were you, I'd just surrender right now.
Oh. Badass. Okay, so we're just gonna go through one at a time, unless it gets really boring, and then we'll go through 10 at a time. So let's open up our first pack. Let's see what we get. Alright, so Samut. Very nice. Charmed Stray. I do want to make a Charmed Stray deck. Yeah. Nisa's Triumph. Search your library for up to 2 basic forest cards. If you control Nisa, instead search for 3 land cards. Okay, that's kind of for two green. That's okay. And everything else in here kind of looks meh.
This isn't a fight.
Teferi. My very first Teferi. I don't own any Teferi, but it is a rare in this case. Teferi the Time Raveler. Each opponent can cast spells only anytime they cast a sorcery. Until your next turn, you may cast sorcery spells as though they had flash. Return up to 1 target artifact, creature, or enchantment card to its owner's hand. Draw a card. Very nice. We won't be playing with him. Alright, next. Not anytime soon anyway, maybe later. Okay. Single combat. Hey, it's the Nahiri Sorin card. Each player chooses a creature or planeswalker they control, then sacrifices the rest. Players can't cast creature or planeswalker spells until the end of your next turn. So it's kind of like a wipe. That's cool. Not even a threat to the entire multiverse could persuade them to put aside their feud. Yeah. Alright, cool. Sweet. Next. Ah, we got the Wall of Text. Wall of Text hits you for 1,000,000. For 0, actually. And, alright. Angrath. Creatures you control have menace. Amass 2. For some reason, he's got a mass. I don't know. I haven't read the book yet. The book just came in today. So I'm going to be reading the book. It looks like a pretty easy read. So maybe he is a bad guy. But let's check out and see what our rare is here. Storev, Devkarin Lich. Trample. When he deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, return your hand target creature or planeswalker card from your graveyard that wasn't put there this combat. Interesting. Wow, this guy's actually pretty powerful. And there's a really nice Golgari zombie deck that he would go well in. In times of war, only death flourishes. That is true. And capitalist, but hey. Teo and Dovin. Look, we get so many planeswalkers. Gosh, I thought there was only supposed to be 1 planeswalker per pack. I guess that's not the case. Okay, what do we got? Ooh, Finale of Promise. You may cast up to 1 target instant and or up to 1 target sorcery card from your graveyard. Did that just shake the camera? Sorry. You may cast up to 1 target instant card and or up to 1 target sorcery card from your graveyard, each with converted mana cost X or less without paying their mana costs. If a card cast this way would be put into the graveyard this turn, exile instead. If X is 10 or more, copy each of those spells twice. Damn! That sounds really good. And that's our first mythic rare. Finale of Promise. It's like, that must mean something. It must be a sign. We're meant to play with this card. Maybe we will. Let's see what we got next. And I also forgot a little celebratory clinky chink. So let's do a clinky. Cheers. Dreadhorde Invasion. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and amass 1. Whenever a zombie token you control with power 6 or greater attacks, it gains lifelink until the end of turn. Okay, that sounds powerful. It only costs 2? Wow. That does sound really powerful. We'll have to play with that. Flux Channeler, I have a deck that has this. It's a very weird deck. Maybe we will play it. I'm hoping to get some Feather. Feather is what I want to make my first deck out of. Feather. Death Sprout, yes! Death. I love Death Sprout. This artwork is just amazing, and it's such a good card. Destroy target creature. Search your library for a basic land card. Put it into play battlefield. Tapped. Then shuffle your library. All right, what do we get? Yes! Bolas Citadel! I have a deck that I want to play that is based around this. Like, if you remember my Fontabulous deck, it works really well with, it would work really well with this. I don't know if it really does synergize perfectly together, but it could. And I'm going to test it out and see if that's the case. And hopefully you will be there with me when I do it. Okay, next. Ashiok, the creepiest planeswalker. Spells and abilities your opponents control can't cause their controller to search their library. He's very, very specific, this guy. But he is very, very creepy if you know his story. Maybe I'll get into that someday. What do we got? Command the Dreadhorde. Choose any number of target creature and or planeswalker cards in graveyards. Command the Dreadhorde deals damage to you equal to the total converted mana cost of those cards. Ouch. Put them into the battlefield under control. Whoa. Interesting. Maybe like a life gain deck? I feel like that cost could be very expensive. She sees the reins of Bolas's vast army, gritting her teeth behind the chain veil. Oh, she's got it on here. In that artwork. That's cool artwork. I'm not the biggest fan of Liliana, but that's she's got some cool artwork in this set. Neoform. I like this card. As an additional cost to cast the spell, sacrifice a creature. Search your library for a creature card with converted mana costs equal to 1 plus the sacrificed creature's converted mana cost. Put that card into the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it, and then shuffle your library. So this is basically like a Birthing Pod. Birthing Pod Plus. All right.
I know.
Ooh.
I am hot, aren't I?
Oh, you're super hot, girlfriend. Oh my god. Chandra. Now Chandra I do like. I think Chandra's super cute. Whenever one or more loyalty counters are removed from Chandra, Fire Artisan, she deals that much damage to target opponent or planeswalker. That's pretty sweet. Whoa. Okay, that's actually really interesting. Whenever one or more are removed, and she's only got like a -7. Okay. Exile the top card of your library. You may play it this turn. Cool. Already good. Exile the top 7 cards of your library. You may play them this turn. I have actually gone through the whole set, so I have read them at one point, but there's so much when it's so new, I kind of forget some of the stuff. So that's why I'm like, oh my god, amazing. Exile top 7 cards of your library. You may play them this turn. Damn. And then she like deals 7 damage to target opponent or planeswalker. That's intense. That is intense. Cool. Love it. Love it. I'm amazed she's not mythic, though. Like, Chandra. I feel like the Gatewatch should be mythic. Anyway. So another Ashiok. I don't really care about you. Solar Blaze. Each creature deals damage to itself equal to its power. This is a beautiful little sweep. Love it. Love it. Davriel, the rogue shadow mage. He is, oh gosh. This is a rack, right? This is the rack. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, if that player has 1 or fewer cards in hand, Davriel Rogue Shadow Mage deals 2 damage to them. So there's a card way back in, you know, Alpha, I think, like the beginning, not Alpha. Yeah, I think it's called Alpha. The very first set that ever came out had 2 cards, the Rack and the Vice. And the Rack was this, I believe. If your opponent has 1 or fewer cards in hand, no, I think it was 3 or fewer cards in hand, it deals damage to them. But it's the same kind of flavor. And I think the Vice was if they had over that amount of cards, then it deals damage to them. Anyway, cool. I'm happy to see that mechanic. That means discard will be fun. Ooh, Oath of Kaya. When Oath of Kaya enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to any target and you gain 3 life. That's nice. And when an opponent attacks, it deals 2 and you gain 2. That's really good. Only costs 3. That's really good. Great. And apparently Kaya is now going to be part of the Gatewatch, which seems kind of weird. Gatewatch? Is that the name of it? I think it's called the Gatewatch, right? Alright, next. The Super Friends. Okay.
Let me lead
Gideon.
the charge into darkness.
Hello, baby. As long as it's your turn, he's a 4/4 indestructible soldier. Prevent all damage that will be dealt to him. Up to 1 other target creature you control gains your choice of Vigilance, Lifelink, or Indestructible until end of turn, and then exile target non-land permanent. Pretty sweet. Gideon Blackblade. Love it. I'll definitely be building a deck with him in that. I mean, he just fits in so many decks. I mean, White Weenie, like, goodness gracious, Boros decks, like, Ugh, he is powerful. He only costs 3 and he's like just insane. Yeah, I like it. We're gonna be seeing a lot of him, I'm sure. Kiora. I'm not sure if I like Kiora as a character or not. This card is actually really good, but I'm not sure if I like her as a character. Whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. And then untap target permanent. I do like her because she's kind of rogue. She goes her own way. She does her own thing. But she can be like a super asshole about it, which I don't like, obviously. Okay. Ah, Fiddlep. We got him. Fiddlep. Fiddlep the Lost. When Fiddlep the Lost enters the battlefield, draw a card. If it entered your library or cast from your library, draw 2 cards instead. If it entered from your library or was cast from your library, draw 2 cards instead. When Fiddlep becomes a target of a spell, shuffle Fiddlep into its owner's library. So, for those of you who don't know, I'm sure some of you do, but for those of you that don't know, Fiddlep has a history in Magic cards. He's kind of like a meme that became a thing, and now he's got his own card, and it's just magical. It's amazing. I want to make a deck with him in it. There will be time. There will be time for all those things.
You and I are gonna take him out.
Bam! Got another Chandra. We're gonna have to play with Chandra. Love her. Love you, girl. Love you, girl. Another Fiddle. Another Fiddle. Alright, another Angrath. Nice. Nice. Spellgorger Weird. I have a deck that has Spellgorger Weird as part of it. I think it's actually my, I have a Jeskai Feather deck. I have a number of Feather decks. I like attached to Feather super hard, and I want to build like a shit ton of decks with her. Dreadhorde Arcanist. That is actually also in my Feather deck. This is great. Trample. Whenever Dreadhorde Arcanist attacks, you may cast target instant or sorcery card with converted mana cost less than equal to his power from your graveyard without paying his mana cost. If that card would be put into the graveyard this turn, exile it instead. Yes, this is red deck wins for sure, but it'll synergize a lot of other stuff. Mostly aggro. Okay, next. Storm the Citadel. Until end of turn, creatures you control get +2/+2 in game whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, destroy target artifact or enchantment defending player controls. Okay. Whenever this creature does. Okay. Cool. It's pretty expensive, but cool. Interesting interaction there. The Blast Zone. Blast Zone enters the battlefield with a charge counter on it. Add a colorless for XX, put X charge counters on the Blast Zone, sacrifice Blast Zone, destroy each non-land permanent with converted mana cost equal to the number of charge counters on Blast Zone. Interesting. Okay. So it's kind of like a very specific destruction, but it can't take out tokens. I guess that was very specific. Because it enters with a counter on it. So you can't just like kill a mass zombies or Celestia tokens or hero tokens or whatever. It's kind of useless. I don't know, we'll have to see how useful that is. Alright, next. Narset. Ah! I do like Narset. Narset is a great character. I don't know if she's good here though. Each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn. Interesting. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a non-creature, non-land card among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in every random order. I mean, if we got her in like a sealed or you know, like a limited format, she doesn't seem too bad because she draws cards and she's not super expensive. Huatli, the Sun's Heart. I don't know jack about Huatli. Haven't gotten there in the story yet. Each creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Okay. Sure. That's good. I mean, it's definitely worth building a deck around, or you can build a deck around that. You gain life equal to the greatest toughness among creatures you control. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. It's good.
Sorry,
it's
I'm
good.
late.
Another Teferi. We're never gonna play you. It's alright, Teferi. You can be as late as you want, honey bun. More Charmed Strays. Heartwarming Redemption. Discard all cards in your hand and draw that many cards +1. You gain life equal to the number of cards in your hand. That seems really good. That seems really good. Oh, Parhelion. Yes. Parhelion, the flying anvil machine, the angel creator. This thing is intense, but it's so expensive. I'm going to build a deck out of this. I am going to build a deck out of this, but flying, first strike, vigilance. Whenever Parhelion 2 attacks, create 2 4/4 white angel creature tokens with flying and vigilance that are attacking. So this is like really interesting because it fuels itself, right? So it's crew 4 and it creates angels. So if you crew it once, then you can crew it forever. So I mean, it's just, this is such a powerhouse. It's obviously a game ender and it's, just look at it. Just look at it. It's so crazy. But it's so expensive. It's 8, so you have to like cheat it into play somehow or else it's like useless basically. Alright, cool. I'm glad to have gotten a Parhelion. Still no feathers. Tyrant Scorn. This is a really good removal spell. Choose one. Destroy target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less, or return target creature to its owner's hand. So that's pretty decent. 1 blue, 1 black. The hero with the magic sword slays a dragon. Not this time. Nicol Bolas. Niv-Mizzet Reborn, baby. Oh yeah. Flying. When Niv-Mizzet Reborn enters the battlefield, reveal the top 10 cards of your library. For each color pair, choose a card that's exactly those colors from among them. Put the chosen cards into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Definitely deck building around that, for sure. And it's a mythic. Our second mythic? Was that our second mythic? I think so. Alright. Next. I'm having so much fun doing this. Having so much fun doing this. Gateway Plaza. That's a really cool artwork for Gateway Plaza. I'm gonna have to replace all my Gateway Plazas with that. Alright, what do we got?
We can figure a way out of
Jace.
this.
Hey, baby. Love you. Okay, if you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, you win the game instead. Target player puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard. Draw a card. Draw 7 cards. Then if your library has no cards in it, you win the game. Sorry. Very cool. Definitely deck building around that. That's it's a very cool, very interesting little interaction he's got. Next. Dreadhorde Twins. These guys are cool. When Dreadhorde Twins enters the battlefield, amass 2 zombie tokens you control have trample. And Jaya, Venerated Fire Mage. If another red source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals that much damage +1 to that permanent or player instead. And she deals 2 damage to any target, which is technically 3 damage to every target. That's cool. She's good. She's a little expensive though. So actually I don't know how good she is gonna be. But you can't hate on the grandma. She's so cool. She really is so cool. Command the Dreadhorde again. Very good. Alright. A-Line Prowler. Pretty sweet. Add 1 mana of any color. Death Touch Lifelink. This is such a cool card. I love cards like this that are cheap and extremely useful. It feeds on the dark energies that course through the deep world and on any other creature lured by the Leyline's pull. I don't think I've seen this one before actually. Reach. Blocks a creature with flying. It gets +2/+0. That's cool. Another Narset. And just a mythic wild card. That's cool. I'll take it. Tybalt! We got her Tybalt. Aw. Tybalt. So useless. Your opponents can't gain life. Create a 1/1 red devil creature token. With this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. So, red deck wins, I guess? I don't know. We'll have to see what happens to red deck wins. It might play this. This seems pretty good. Opponents can't gain life. Like, that's one of the best ways for control to work around red deck wins. Is gaining life. So we shall see. He might actually get used. Finale of Glory. Create X 2/2 white soldier creature tokens with vigilance. If X is 10 or more, create X 4/4 white angel creature tokens with flying and vigilance. Jeez. So what's that? So 10 4/4 white angel creature tokens. I mean, it's just like game over, man, at that point, right? Interesting. Maybe we'll build like a finale deck. We want gods. Give us gods. Give us feather. Please give us feather. Oh my goodness. Another Kiora. Chandra's Triumph. Sure. Tomic. Distinguished Advocist. Flying. Lands on the battlefield and land cards in graveyards can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponents control. Your opponents can't play land cards from the graveyards. Super, super specific. That'll probably not see play. Ever. Whatever. You gotta have at least a few, right? Obnixilis, the asshole. Whenever the asshole draws, or whenever an opponent draws a card, the asshole deals 1 damage to that player. Destroy target creature. Its controller draws 2 cards. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Eternal Skylord. When Eternal Skylord enters the battlefield, amass 2 zombie tokens you control are flying. Wow. Okay. It's a little expensive, but that's a cool little interaction with the zombie tokens. If you're wondering, I like Nisa a lot. Nisa is one of the planeswalkers, and this guy did some really bad things to her and her world in a particular part of the story. So that's what I call him. That's why I call him that. Although he is really an asshole. It's not just a personal thing. That's just kind of like who he is. Anyway. Okay. Wild cards. Wild cards are okay. I can deal with that. Dovin's Veto. This is a good card. This spell can't be countered. Counter target non-creature spell. Ugins. Oh my god. People were complaining about this. Ugin's Conjurant. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. I think it's Ugin's though. Ugin's Conjurant enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. If damage would be dealt to it while it has +1/+1 counter on it, prevent that damage and remove that many +1/+1 counters. Yeah, so it's kind of like the Phantoms back from Time Twister or whatever. Time Sparrow. I think. They worked a lot like this. Cool. Like it. Very cool. Casualties of War. Damn. Okay, choose 1 or more. Destroy target artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or planeswalker. So you could choose all 5 if you really wanted to. That's amazing. It's really good because, well, I mean, it's green and black, but like, green doesn't have a sweeper effect as far as I'm aware right now. And black doesn't really have a very specific sweeper effect. Black sweepers right now are kind of conditional. Like either giving everything -2/-2 or destroying everything with converted mana cost 3 or less, stuff like that. So, okay, interesting. More Kioras. Another Tomic. Useless! I need not this Tomic. Kaya! Hey girl! Okay, your opponent in permanents your opponent's control with hexproof can be targets of spells or abilities if they didn't have hexproof. Kinda useless. Exile target creature. That's not useless. But she's a little expensive and you can only do it twice. Unless you have proliferate in your deck. Okay. Time Wipe. Return a creature you control to its owner's hands and destroy all creatures. That's pretty cool. Me gusta. To comprehend the full answer requires years of temporal study. In short, they were now never born in the first place. Interesting. Okay. Cool. Other Angrath.
I'm always a step ahead.
Hey, baby. Okay, Jace, good. I'm always a step ahead. Bolt Bend. This spell costs 3 less to cast if you control a creature with power 4 or greater. Change the target of target spell or ability with a single target. That's cool. That's cool. Another Kaya. And Krenko, 10 Streak Kingpin. Whenever he attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on him, then create a number of 1/1 red goblin creature tokens equal to his power. Okay. Cool. That's pretty powerful. Very good for goblin decks. Wing. Grateful Apparition. That's a good card. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, proliferate. Yeah, proliferation is going to be really good in this set. Target opponent sacrifices a creature that attacked or blocked this turn. If you control a Gideon, That player sacrifices 2 of those creatures instead. Okay. Not bad, not bad.
Beasts are much more reliable
Vivian.
than humans.
This is great. This is it. She's in my feather deck, so I'm happy to open her. You may cast creature spells as though they had flash. Until your next turn, up to 1 target creature gains vigilance and reach. Look at the top 3 cards in your library, exile 1 face down, and put the rest in the bottom of your library in any order. For as long as it remains exiled, you may look at that card, and you may cast it if it is a creature card. Alright. Alright, alright. Very nice. Evolution Sage. This is a cool card. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, proliferate. So this is landfall. I don't know why it doesn't say landfall. I guess they specifically didn't want to bring that keyword back because there's so many other keywords that are associated with the set, but that's landfall pretty much. Enter the God Eternals. When God Eternals deals 4 Enter the God Eternals deals 4 damage to target creature, and you gain life equal to the damage dealt this way. Target player puts the top 4 cards of their library into their graveyard and amass 4. That's okay. That's decent. That's decent. Okay. Another Davriel. Vivian's Arcbow. X and tap. Discard a card. Look at the top X cards of your library. You may put a creature card with converted mana cost X or less from among them into the battlefield. That's just insane. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. Yeah. That's an insane card, and I can see a lot of people building decks around that. It only costs 2, you know? So you get it out early and just have a bunch of white weenies, or green weenies, or whatever. Excuse me. Alright, let's see if we can get some feathers. We only have 17 packs left. Another Kiora. Commence the endgame. This spell can't be countered. Draw 2 cards, then amass X, where X is the number of cards in your hand. It's okay. Right? Draw 2 cards. Amass X, yeah. I mean, maybe it's good. It's an instant. That's like the reason why, that's the only thing that I think makes it good, is it's an instant. So you can do it at the end of your opponent's turn and kind of take them off guard. Next, Storm the Citadel, Mayhem Devil, Widespread Brutality. Amass 2, then the army you amass deals damage equal to its power to each non-army creature. That's pretty powerful, I think. That's pretty powerful. Next.
Witness the ties that bind us all.
Oh, my favorite. Hi, Nisa. Other than Jace, of course. Jace is my real favorite, but I really like Nisa too. Whenever you tap a forest for mana, add an additional forest, green mana. Put 3 +1/+1 counters on top of 1 target non-creature land you control. Untap it. It becomes a 0/0 elemental creature with vigilance and haste that's still a land. That doesn't stop at the end of turn, if you notice, which is the most important thing about her. You get an emblem with lands you control have indestructible. Search your library for any number of forest cards and put them into the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. That's worthy. This is worthy. This is worthy of building a deck around, I think. Yeah. Yep. I like the sound effects. Another Death Sprout.
I would like to test a new hypothesis with you.
Tameo. I like Tameo. Collector of Tales. Spells and abilities your opponents control can't cause you to discard cards or sacrifice permanents. That's cool. Choose a non-land card name. Then reveal the top 4 cards in your library. Put all cards with the chosen name among them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Interesting. Return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Okay. Choose a non-land card name. Reveal the top 4 cards. So I suppose if you tailor your deck, like you know what's on the top, you have like a treasure map or something like that. Okay. Interesting. Tybalt, Storm the Citadel. We have almost 4 of these now too. Narset's Reversal. This card's great. Copy target instant or sorcery spell, then return it to your owner's hand. You may choose new targets for that copy. That can definitely blow out some people. I can see Mono Blue playing the heck out of this. In the disarray of battle, an enemy's attack may be your most convenient weapon. Okay. Also, you can counter non-counterable spells with this, because it's not technically countering the spell. So, like, a Banefire that's for 5 or more, for example, you can definitely counter that, because you're copying it and then you're sending it back to their hand. So you're not, like, technically countering it, which is very interesting to see how that will interact with the meta. Another Flux Channeler, another Gideon's Triumph, and Spark Double. Ah, yeah. I have a deck that I want to play with this. You may have Spark Double enter the battlefield as a copy of a creature or planeswalker you control, except it shares an additional, it enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it if it's a creature, and enters with an additional loyalty counter on it if it's a planeswalker, and if it isn't legendary, if that permanent is legendary. That's very interesting. I like this. I like this a lot. This is so much jank. So much jank potential, I feel. It gets so intense when you hover over the card pack. Alright. More Angrath. Sorin! Hey, we got a Sorin. As long as it's your turn, creatures and planeswalkers you control have lifelink. He deals 1 damage to target player or planeswalker, and return target creature card with converted mana cost X from your graveyard to the battlefield. That creature is a vampire, in addition to its other types. Cool. I like it. Vizier of the Scorpion. When Vizier of the Scorpion enters the battlefield, amass 1. Zombie tokens you control have Death Touch. That's pretty good. If you're like an amass deck. God Pharaoh's Statue. Excuse me. Excuse me. Goodness. Spells your opponents cast cost 2 more to cast. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses 1 life. It's a little expensive, but that's pretty cool. Super control-y. Karn the Great Creator. Activated abilities of artifacts your opponent's control can't be activated. Until your next turn, up to 1 target non-creature artifact becomes an artifact creature with power and toughness each equal to its converted mana cost. So, Parhelion, anybody? Like, sorry, I keep on shaking the table. I put my camera on like a new surface. As you can tell, I'm like much closer to the camera now. But the surface is not the most stable of surfaces, so if I bounce the table, if I bang the table, it will shake the camera. Sorry about that. I'll get like a better camera situation at some point. I promise. You may choose an artifact card you own from outside the game or in exile, reveal that card, and put it into your hand. That's cool. That's a very interesting ability. Sunblade Angel. Okay. Silent Submersible. Whenever Silent Submersible deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, draw a card. Stupid, useless. Ugh. Sorry, I judge harshly sometimes. But it just doesn't have any evasion. Like, it's completely useless. Awakening of Vidu-Ghazi. Put 9 +1/+1 counters on target land you control. It becomes a legendary 0/0 elemental creature with haste named Vidu-Ghazi. It's still a land. I cannot wait to read the book because of this. This seems really cool to me. So. Next. I don't know if I'll build a deck out of that. I mean, there's plenty of time, right? We have plenty of time.
A manipulation of
Another
the
Jace. Is that 3 Jaces? We have 3 Jaces. I guess we have to build a Jace deck now. Still haven't gotten any feathers, though. What the hell? Awakening of Vidu-Ghazi? Jace's Triumph. Draw 2 cards. Okay, wait. Did we already read this one before? Draw 2 cards. If you control a Jace, draw 3 cards instead. Okay. I love this Charm Stray. So cute. Alright, so we're seeing no new uncommons. Dreadhorde Invasion, okay. Seem to be getting a lot of duplicates. 10th District Legionnaire. Thank God. Okay, like, is this part of the feather deck? And she's just cool besides that point. Haste. Whenever you cast a spell that targets 10th District Legionnaire, put a +1/+1 counter on 10th District Legionnaire, then scry 1. Like, that's just super cool. That's just a super cool card, regardless of having a feather on the field. A mythic wild card. Okay. Cool. Cool. Hey! Janyangu! Wildcrafter. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has add 1 mana of any color. Wow, that's actually pretty strong. And then put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Cool. I like you. The Elder Spell. Destroy any number of target planeswalkers. Choose a planeswalker you control, put 2 loyalty counters on it for each planeswalker destroyed this way. That's a really cool card. That will have to make its way into some decks. And another Grateful Apparition. I really like this card too. Okay. 2 more. 2 more. Another Tibalt, another Storm the Citadel. Dreadhorde Butcher. I have a deck that I want to make with this guy. I mean, he kind of made the rounds on the hype train because he's like really good and he'll do really well in like a you know, the black-red aggro deck, which is actually like really strong before War of the Spark came out. So now that he's out and a couple of other things are out, that makes it just like a really, really good deck. So I want to make it. I want to make it at some point. Said everybody. Said everyone ever. Alright. Oh, Dread Malkin. Oh, I'm so happy I got a Dread Malkin. God, it looks horrifying, but I love it. I love cats. Okay. I love cats. Menace. Sacrifice another creature or a planeswalker. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on Dread Malkin. Which is pretty strong. Firemind Vessel enters the battlefield tapped. Add 2 mana of different colors. That's interesting. Ravnica at War. Exile all multicolored permanents. Interesting. Another sideboard card, I think, though. Alright. Is that all of them? That's all of them. Alright, I mean, I'm going to be getting more eventually. So, I mean, if you had fun, let me know, and I'll do it again. But we're going to go play some Sealed. So, I'll see you in a bit. Alright, I hope you had fun. I'll talk to you later. Ciao. Actually, I forgot to put in the redeem code. Play War Spark. Okay, so we got 3 more. So let's go open 3 more. Rebel Belt Riders. Haste. When Rebel Belt Riders attacks, it gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Okay, that seems cool. Bolas of Citadel, another one. Yeah. Okay, good. Maybe that's the deck that we'll build first, considering we didn't get any feathers. Eternal Skylord, Ob Nixilis. Just a rare wild card. It's fine, you can consider that to be a feather. Heartwarming Redemption, Dreadhorde Twins, and Casualties of War. Alright, cool. Okay, so let's get on to Sealed now. Ciao.